Little girl ran to bikers crying he's coming. When the single dad biker heard the reason, he acted swiftly. The highway lay quiet under the amber weight of late afternoon, the kind of silence that feels like something holding its breath. A row of motorcycles lined the cracked concrete in front of an abandoned gas station, their chrome catching the fading sunlight in soft, thoughtful flashes. Cole Harlan knelt beside his bike with a rag slung over one shoulder, tightening a stubborn bolt with the patience of a man who had learned not to rush life anymore. His daughter Lily sat cross-legged a few feet away, sketching the horizon with the calm focus only grief and healing could teach. They were traveling light the way they always did, a father carrying the weight of loss quietly, and a daughter carrying her mother's memory in rough pencils and small bursts of color. The other bikers talked among themselves in low voices, smoke drifting lazily into the warm air. Nothing about the moment suggested change. Nothing hinted at danger. Then the world shifted. It began with the sound of running feet, too light to be an adult, too frantic to be play. A little girl burst from behind the station, hair tangled, cheeks streaked with dirt and tears. She stumbled across the asphalt and nearly fell before catching herself on trembling hands. Her voice cracked the air in a single terrified plea. "He's coming." Cole's wrench dropped to the ground without him noticing. He stood immediately, scanning the road, body tightening like a coil pulled sharp. The bikers straightened, exchanging looks of confusion and caution, but Cole moved first, drawn by instinct far older than the patch on his jacket or the road beneath his boots. He reached the girl just as she swayed again, catching her by the shoulders. "Hey," he whispered, kneeling to her level. "You're all right? Who's coming?" She couldn't answer at first. Her breaths came in fast, painful bursts. Lily approached slowly, offering her water bottle with small, steady hands. The girl drank as if afraid the water might disappear, then wiped her mouth with the back of her hand. "He found me," she whispered. "I hid like Mom said, but he found me. Please don't let him get me." "What's your name?" Cole asked gently. "Evie." Her voice cracked on the last sound. Cole felt that crack echo in his chest. He looked at the bruising on her arm, the way she flinched at every distant noise, and something old and wounded inside him shifted. Lily moved behind him the way she always did when she sensed danger. Cole placed his hand on her shoulder briefly and then rose to scan the tree line. A distant truck engine growled through the quiet like thunder rolling toward them. Evie whimpered. Lily grabbed her hand without hesitation. Cole stretched out his other arm, placing himself in front of both girls as the bikers tensed behind him. The truck barreled into view, old and rust-eaten. It skidded to a stop, and a man climbed out with the posture of someone who believed the world owed him obedience. His eyes caught the sight of the little girl and sharpened into something ugly. "There you are," he snarled. "Get over here." Cole stepped forward before Evie even had time to retreat. He didn't shout. He didn't posture. He simply walked as though the road belonged to him and always had. "Back up," Cole said quietly. "That's my daughter." Cole shook his head, slow and cold. "Try the truth." The man's lip curled as he looked past Cole toward Evie. "She's mine. You think I'm afraid of some biker trash? Move." Cole didn't move. Behind him, the bikes fell silent, their riders forming a line without a word. It wasn't threat. It was presence. A reminder that violence wasn't necessary when a wall of loyalty stood without speaking. Evie's small voice carried across the tension. "Mom said you're not allowed near us. You're not my dad." Her words hit harder than anything the man could throw. His face twisted, fury pulling it into something sharp. He lunged toward them, but Cole stepped in, placing a hand to his chest and stopping him with a single, immovable push. "You're done," Cole murmured. The man stumbled back, startled at the quiet steel in Cole's voice. Before he could react, a shout came from the distance. "Evie!" A woman appeared across the dry grass, limping, breathless, her clothes torn from running. When she saw her daughter, she broke into a sprint despite her obvious pain. Evie tore free and raced toward her, their reunion hitting the air with so much relief it felt almost holy. Rowan collapsed around her daughter, holding her so tightly it looked like she feared the wind might steal her away. When she looked up and saw the bikers, fear flickered in her eyes, until she met Cole's gaze. Something in his expression eased her panic, the same way still water calms a trembling animal. Lily approached and said softly, "He helped her." Rowan's eyes glistened with gratitude and exhaustion. She let Cole examine the scrape along her arm. When he touched her, she didn't pull away. Her breath shook, but she held still, trusting him without knowing why. "We should get you both somewhere safe," Cole said. Rowan hesitated, torn by the instinct to run and the instinct to finally accept help. Evie pressed her face into her mother's side. "Okay," Rowan whispered. They began walking. The evening cooled around them. Lily and Evie walked hand in hand, whispering softly. Rowan walked beside Cole, occasionally glancing at him as though trying to name the strange sense of safety he carried with him. But safety is fragile. As the group approached the old railway bridge, headlights flashed ahead. The man stepped out from behind a concrete pillar, face twisted with rage. He had circled around, waiting for them. Evie screamed. Rowan froze. Lily pressed close to Cole. The man pointed at Rowan. "You think you can run forever? She's mine." Cole stepped forward slowly. "No, she's not." The man swung at him. Cole blocked the strike effortlessly, gripping his wrist and twisting just enough to break the momentum without breaking the man. It wasn't anger. It was restraint. Control. Protectiveness honed by years of needing to stay gentle for a daughter who had already lost too much. The man fought wildly, but Cole's strength came from something deeper than fury. It came from love. Quiet, tired, steady love. The kind that refuses to let a child be hurt again. He forced the man to the ground and held him until footsteps thundered behind them. The bikers had arrived, forming a silent semicircle. And then another sound rose, the distant wail of sirens. Lily had called the police earlier, slipping away when the confrontation first began. Small but brave in the way children are when they understand the world needs saving. Officers took the man into custody. Evie clung to Rowan, shaking with relief. Rowan leaned against the bridge, covering her face as her emotions broke free in messy, human sobs. Cole didn't go to her immediately. He waited, letting her gather herself. When she finally lifted her head, he stepped closer. "You're safe now," he said softly. Rowan swallowed hard. "Thank you. I don't know how to." "You don't have to," he murmured. Later, Cole drove Rowan and Evie toward the shelter. Lily and Evie fell asleep in the back, leaning on each other as if they'd always been sisters. Rowan watched them in the mirror with a tenderness she had held back for years. "You really helped her," Rowan whispered. "You helped both of us." Cole's hands tightened slightly on the handlebars. "Just did what anyone decent should." She shook her head. "No, you did more." When they arrived, he helped her down from the bike. Their hands lingered longer than accident would allow. Rowan looked up at him, something new and fragile unfolding in her eyes. She leaned in and kissed his cheek, soft, grateful, full of the hope she hadn't dared hold. His breath caught, not because of surprise, but because for the first time in a long time, something warm rooted itself where only loss had lived. "Sometimes," she whispered, resting her forehead against his, "family finds you on the road you never meant to take." The night air wrapped around them gently, and Cole let himself believe that maybe the road was beginning to lead him somewhere softer. And somewhere behind them, two girls slept without fear for the first time in a long, long while. Sometimes the road brings danger. Sometimes it brings salvation. But once in a while, it brings the people you were meant to protect, and the ones who help you heal in return. Stay close for the next story. The road always has another quiet miracle waiting.